Hi, and welcome back to Gavins SonexB, the top cowling part 2. And it's looking pretty good so far. And let's have a look at what we've done. So yesterday afternoon, I laid up several layers of glass fibre tape. More in this area here where I had to build up some thickness, and then some wider tapes, a couple of wider tapes over the entire thing, and glassed them all in. And this morning it's all nice and dry, and I've just trimmed off the excess that was hanging out and removed the acetate sheet that I was using for a mould. I'll turn it over and we'll have a look at the other side. I'm pretty pleased with the results actually. It's come out better than I was anticipating. It's lovely flush finish there all the way along. Obviously it's not the same colour, but it's going to be sprayed anyway. The only place where I've had a little tiny bit of creepage of the resin is on this corner, where I obviously didn't quite get the acetate stuck down properly. There is, however, a problem. I needed to extend the left side of the cowling because there's a gap at the back edge just here. And the right hand side of the cowling was good. And so I wrote good and plus 25. However, when I turned it up the other way, I have inadvertently extended this side and I haven't extended that side. So a bit of a cock up, but it just means I'm going to have to do a little more work and glass that side and extend it a little bit more. It only needs to go like 5-10 millimeters, less than that even. And so I'm going to busy away and get that set up and get some glass fibre tape in there and do that. So it's going to delay me a few hours, but I must say I'm pretty pleased with the result. It's pretty damn good. It's beautiful. Just needs a little bit of a rub down just to sort it out, and then obviously I need to measure my plus 16 out and then trim it off properly, and then on this side the plus 25. So not bad at all. I'm pretty pleased with that. It looks good, it looks strong. We'll see how the rest of it goes, but as a test piece I'd call that a success. I've obviously got the side on the lower cowling to do as well, so a couple of days of not very much work, but a lot of waiting around for things to set, because I tend not to put too much on at once, one layer at a time. I might do 2 layers maybe. We'll see how it goes, because it's only a small area that I'm doing, but best to take it slow and steady. Slow and steady wins the race. More later. So, a few hours later, and I've extended the side that I'm supposed to extend, and it's gone off enough to actually cut it. So I've basically laid up on the inside against a piece of acetate as I did before. I've got a little bit of sorting out there where the overlap is, but apart from that, it's looking good. And I'm just about to start cutting my line all the way round. So measuring 16mm from my reference line all the way around, and then I've got to do 25mm from that reference line, and that side's got to be cut flush where it says good. So it's coming along. I'm not sure I'll get it finished this evening, but it's not bad at all. Then I've got to re-drill some of the holes which I've blocked up with resin, and all is good to go. Might need a little bit of filler here and there and a bit of sanding, but looking good. So I've literally grabbed the top cowling, hot-footed it from over there to here, and I've literally put it on, put all the clecos back in, and it actually fits, which I'm very, very surprised about and very pleased. It's a little bit of finishing to do, but it's pretty good, and a little bit tight at this point here against the firewall, so I'm going to take a little bit off this stretch here, just to allow it to move backwards by probably a millimetre, if that. But the holes for the clecos just don't line up. But I'm talking a millimetre or maybe two. So all in all, that's a success. I can now cleco it properly all the way across where I couldn't before, because there wasn't enough material there to actually grab hold of. So once I've done a little bit of fettling on that, it will be time to tackle the bottom cowling. And the bottom cowling I have got to extend, I've got to extend it just to fill that gap there where you can see that's actually, you can't quite see because there's no gap down there at all, which is really good. Super. Might have to take a little bit off because obviously you've got to paint the thing, and when it's painted it will be a bit bigger, so don't want to scrub the edges off the paint all the time, so we need a little bit of a gap there, but we'll start off with no gap, and then we can always take some off, can't we? More later. So another 24 hours has passed, and I've been busy on and off, and I've done the glassing on the lower cowling to extend the side that was a little short, and I'll show you what's happened there. It is a dismal day today. It's pouring with rain outside and very dark and wet, but hopefully you'll be able to see that there's just a little extension on the side here. It's semi-transparent at the moment until I paint it all the way down to the bottom. I've trimmed it 25mm from my reference line, and hopefully that sorted that out. And of course we've gained some thickness because of the glass fibre, which will hopefully push this outer edge flush with the outside of the fuselage, because we had about 1.5 mm. The fuselage was about 1.5 mm wider, which I didn't like, so I've thickened it up a bit, and I've also thickened it up on this side as well. Not extended it, but just thickened it up. I've got the hinge cleat on, ready to do a test fit, and I've drilled a couple of holes just to attach that one until I know exactly where it's got to go. I've also been looking at the side vents. A few of you have asked about the side vents. There are the side vents. This is the one for this side and goes somewhere around about there. I've just been looking online to see about positioning. It tells you on the instructions to put the side vent 6.5 inches down the side here, but it doesn't tell you whether the join is the reference between the top and bottom cowling or the top of the moulding. It just shows a picture, well, a drawing of the area, and doesn't actually tell you where the reference point is. I think the reference is probably from the join between the top and bottom cowlings. I've looked at a few others online and they're all mounted fairly low, and that gives you a fairly low opening there. So we'll go across to the garage where there's a bit more light, but it's colder, and try this cowling on and see if it fits. More later. So I've reattached the bottom cowling, and got a little tiny bit of easing to do in a couple of places. A little bit on this side where where I've done the thick. I've made the glass thicker for this hinge. It looks as if it's going to be perfectly flush with the side of the fuselage, which is really good. But I need to just do a little bit of trimming. And then on this side, it's looking pretty good. It looks like there's still a gap, but there isn't. That fits perfectly, and I'm really pleased with it. It's all gone back together. Right, I've just got to ease it just a tiny bit on the last couple of inches down here. And that's it, really. So, all's good. It's cold out here. It's raining like a monsoon outside at the moment. I've had to turn the heater off because it makes too much noise to record a video. So I'm going to go inside and have a cup of coffee and a biscuit, and then I'm going to come out here and do a bit of fettling and see if we can't get this bottom cowl fitting properly, and then it's on to the side vents. Woo.